Hi everyone, Paula from PSE Creations here. Today's tutorial is to show you a way that you can make a wreath if you purchased one of my wreath kits that was the Santa Claus, the Snowman, or the Little Red Truck. The wreath kits came with a wooden sign along with a small little wooden additional attachment that went with the sign. It came with a 12-inch frame, 18 pipe cleaners, 1 roll of mesh, 4 of the cable mounts to attach your signs, and then it also came with 2 different 2.5-inch ribbon. I believe it was 6 yards of the 2.5-inch of each, and then 1.5-inch, and that was 9 yards of that, if I remember correctly. Yes. The design that I'm going to do today, I'm only going to use 1 2.5-inch and 1 1.5-inch. Therefore, my 2.5 that I'm using, I have 9 yards here. So it's enough to give me 12 ties at 12 inches. So I've separated it. Just remember, if you bought the kit and you're following with what I'm doing in this design, you don't have to. You can do your own design. This is just to give you an idea of how you can use the kit. So I separated it. These are going to be 12-inch ribbon tails. So they're 12 inches and there's going to be 12 ribbon tails of each color. And then this right here is the remainder ribbon that I have to make a bow at the end. You also received 18 ties. You don't need all 18 of them. In most cases, I'm going to do 12 on mine, on my frame. That leaves me with 6 more, and then I'm going to use 2 for the big sign, and I'll probably use 2 for the small sign, even though you could potentially just use 1 if you wanted to. Up to you. This again is just a tutorial to give you an idea of how you can utilize the kit. Okay, let's start off by cutting our mesh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what they call a pancake style. So it's just the style of wreath that will allow to fit between a screen door and a storm door. So I'm just going to cut off the end of my mesh just to give me a straight line. So I just want a straight line. Now I'm going to do 12 20-inch cuts, and then I'm going to do 12 10-inch cuts, and that should use up the entire roll of mesh. So the 20 inches are going to be ruffles, and the 10 inches are going to be curls. So I'm just going to continue and cut 12. The mesh that came with the kits is definitely not like this mesh. It's actually a bit thicker. And I know that the kits will turn out beautifully. The great thing about buying a wreath kit is that you can make it your own. You don't necessarily only have to use the supplies given to you. You can add whatever you want to make it unique to you. That's why this tutorial is just an idea. Now, if you didn't want to do the curls, you could do a 25-inch. So you can do 12 pieces of 25-inch. Might be able to do 26-inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, I have my 12 at cut at 20. Now I'm going to do 12 at 10. Once you get towards the end of the roll, it starts to curl up on you. You just grab anything, put it on down, and just it holds it for you. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at, they're almost all rolled for me anyways. 11 and 12. And I'll show you guys what I had left. So for the one roll, this little piece is all I have left. Okay. Put my rolls to the side. I don't know if you guys can see the color that this is. This mesh is like a green gold. I thought it went really well with that Noel design. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into, sorry guys, going and putting our pipe cleaners on our frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 pipe cleaners. Again, you do whatever design you want to. This tutorial is just to give you an idea. So I'm going to do 6 on the inside and 6 on the outside. On the inside, I'm just going to go off the crossbar. So this is a crossbar. I'm just going to put 1 pipe cleaner in each crossbar. There's 6 crossbars. So 6 pipe cleaners, 1 on each crossbar on the inner 2 rows. Okay, so now on the outer, so you have sections. So this is one section right here. You have 2 crossbars, 1 section. You're going to put 1 pipe cleaner on each section on the last 2 rows, in between the 2 crossbars. You can do this design on a 14-inch frame as well. Like the 14-inch ones that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And the last one. So now our frame has all the pipe cleaners. Now we're going to move on to adding our mesh. Once you have your pipe cleaners on your frame, you're just going to start and ruffle your mesh. So the 20-inch mesh that you cut, you're just going to simply, with the curl side down, you're going to just find the middle and then just bring in the mesh. So you're walking your fingers and bringing in the mesh. And you will get a little bow tie. So you're just going to find a pipe cleaner, put your bow tie in that pipe cleaner, secure it with 1 or 2 twists. And because I'm doing the style that I'm doing, I'm just making sure that my mesh is flat, because again, I am doing a pancake style. So the wreath will be full, but I don't want it to be puffy because I want it to fit in between a storm and a screen door, a storm door and your front door. So we're going to continue that process around the entire frame. All right, guys, so my mesh is on my frame. Now I'm going to cut my tails. Again, I separated the ribbon to make sure that I'm not cutting the pieces that I'm going to be using for my bow. So I just have 12. I have enough ribbon here to make 12 12-inch tails. So 12 pieces, 12 inches in length for each ribbon that I'm going to be using. So I'm simply going to cut it. So each piece, right, is 12 inches in length, and I have 12 pieces of the 1.5, and the same for the 2.5. Again, the wreath kits themselves came with 1.5-inch design and 2 of the 2.5-inch designs. So once I counted out 12-inch pieces, then I still have this remaining ribbon left to make my bow. If I choose to put a bow on there, you don't have to put a bow on. So now I have my pieces cut, and now I'm going to dovetail. So to dovetail, you're simply going to take, here, I'll do it with the darker ribbon. You're simply going to take your ribbon, you're going to fold the end and you're going to cut upward. And that gives you a beautiful dovetail. And you're going to do the same thing for each of your ribbon tails. If you have good scissors, you can do more than one piece at a time. If you don't have good scissors, you'll know it because your dovetail will come out not looking the best. It'll come out looking jagged. So the scissors that I have, I love. If you're interested in what they are, just ask in the comments. Well, I can do more than just 3 at a time. I like just doing 3 at a time because that's just me. But you do want to make sure that when you're doing them multiples, that they're even. If not, you're going to have some longer or shorter than others. All right, so I have my 2.5 cut. Now I'm just going to move in and cut my 1.5s. And it's the same thing. You're just going to fold it, cut up, and you get that beautiful dovetail. Beautiful ribbon. I love this ribbon. This is actually the first time I'm using this one. Okay, I have everything dovetailed. So now remember those rolls that we had. I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. Remember we cut the rolls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my rolls. I should have 12 of them. Okay, so you're going to take your 2.5 inch, your 1.5 inch. If you have 2 of the 2.5 inches, then you're just going to alternate. Every other one is going to be using one of the other 1.5 or 2.5 inches. Like I said, for this design, I'm only using 1 2.5 inch. So I'm just using my bow jabber to hold my ribbon tails. I'm going to take my 10 inch and I'm just going to curl it. You can do it as tight or as loose of a curl as you want. Then I'm going to find the middle and I'm just going to pinch down and then I'm going to pinch together. And I'm going to take my ribbon tails. I'm going to put it all together. And I'm just going to put it on in a pipe cleaner. You can choose whether you want to keep your pipe cleaners or you want to cut them off. That's completely up to you. For this particular design, I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off using my wire cutters. And I'm just going to fold the little nub down. And we'll show you how it looks so far. Okay, I'm going to continue that whole process on the outer and on the inner, and then I will add the sign. All right, guys, so here's how it looks. Now you're going to have your sign. So I'd like to put my sign on now. So I'm probably going to put this in the middle, and then maybe I'll put it like somewhere like around here, and then I'll put a bow maybe right here, and this little guy, I wonder if I should do something like this. I feel like the Noel should be at the bottom. And I don't have to use this for the wreath. All right, I'm going to put my cable ties on. If you have a stapler, you can do staples. You don't have to do the cable ties. In most cases, I do staples, but for this, because I was trying to show exactly what came with the kit, I wanted to do this. So I am using additional glue. This is what I'm using. You can use whatever you want just to give it that extra hold. I have not personally had luck with these cable ties and metal signs, but I have not had any issues with these cable ties and wood signs. So ideally, you find the same. Okay, I have that in. I'm going to grab my pipe cleaners. And you should probably do this step probably at the beginning so that you give time for your extra glue to cure. I didn't do that. That's okay. So I use a knitting needle. It's just a plastic knitting needle in order to fish my pipe cleaners through the mesh. It just makes it so much easier in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to flip it over. This is just how I do it. A lot of people don't flip over. And I'm just going to secure my sign, not tying it too tight, but tying it tight enough where it's not going to move. And too tight would be the sign completely sinking into your mesh. Again, if that's how you like it, then that's how you can do it. Do whatever works for you. Flip it over, see how it looks. Too tight on this side. And sometimes you end up having to play around with it. I don't think I like how this one fished through. I'm going to try to fish it through the other side of the ribbon. There we go. Beautiful. All right. All right, so I have that on now. So now I could just leave it like this. It's very beautiful as it is right here. I need to tighten that up again. Sometimes you have to play with the sign for a little bit until you get it to how you like it. Sometimes you have to know when to stop playing with it, because then you're going to mess with it so much that you're never going to like it. And there, done that. ribbon is super thick. I'm going to make a bow. I'm going to place right here using my leftover ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to make the ribbon now, or the bow, sorry. So I'm going to use a leftover ribbon that I have. That's trash. I'm going to be using my Bodabra. If you can make hand bows, that's awesome. I'm not the best at hand bows, so I'm just not going to try them at this point. But I'm going to make a, let's see, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10. I'm going to make a 10-inch tail. I'm going to twist it. And I'm going to make I will make a 6-inch loop. So I'm just using my mat here so that I know. So 14 would give me a 6-inch loop. So I just pushed it down, and then I'm twisting so that I can have the pretty side up. I'm sorry, pretty side down. And I'm going to make another 6-inch loop, putting it through again, twisting. I think I can do 2 more. And the last one I won't twist because it's the tail. Okay, so I have 2 tails here. I mean, 1 tail, 2 loops of this. Let's go ahead and go in and do this one. And I'm going to do the same size tail. Twist it. And I'm going to do a 5-inch with this one. So I'm just using, again, my mat. If you didn't have a mat, you can just take the 2 loops and you can measure them that way. This ribbon is very hard. Stiff. It's not hard, it's stiff. So another. I'm going to do a really small one on each side since I have leftover. This tab's going to be shorter though. It is smaller than that. You guys hear how stiff this is? Okay, perfect. So then you're gonna, if you're using a bow maker, you're just gonna carefully remove it from the bow maker. Grab the pipe cleaner. Twist the bow. We're going to go ahead and put it in the wreath and then fluff it from there. No. Using my needle again. Yeah, fluff out your bow. And now you're just going to, I'm just going to angle my ribbon instead of dovetailing it. Maybe my oil can go down here. I'm just going to take going to do one All right, guys, and this is how I used my wreath kit. Again, if you purchased either the Snowman, the Santa Claus, or the Red Truck kit from me, from PSEN Creations on Etsy, this is one way of doing the wreath. You do not have to do it this way. This is just an idea showing you how you can use all the different supplies provided. I only have one kit left. It's the Santa Claus one, so this is what I'm saying. They're exactly the same concept. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm also on Facebook, PSEN Creations, where I do weekly lives. And I'm a little bit more active. But I'm trying for my YouTube channel. I'm trying to be more active. So anyways, if you guys have any questions in the comment section, just leave them there. And if you have any suggestions on anything, any tutorials that you'd like me to do, leave them in the comment section as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.